Hello, my name is Nathan, and this is the first video in a series on Qt and Visual Studio. Um, in this video, I'll be going over how to install Qt within Visual Studio. We will be going through the process of recompiling the Qt libraries within Visual Studio. Um, just so you know, this process does take a while, so be prepared. You don't need to be in front of the computer the whole time, but it will take a couple hours. Um, all right, so just a little bit of background. Qt is a library environment set developed by Nokia. It allows Java-style GUI functionality um, to the otherwise GUI-less C, C++, or not as robust. Um, it's really a great tool, really a great thing to use that gives you some really solid GUI creation capabilities. Um, all right, so let's get started. First things first, as you can see, you need to download Visual Studio. I already have it installed here. Um, and you need to make sure that that's all said and done and all installed, and it'll look something like this on your front page. All right, so if you don't know how to get Visual Studio 2010, you can go to Microsoft DreamSpark. As long as you have a .edu password or email address, you can register it on DreamSpark and get access to tons of free software, including Visual Studio 2010 Professional Edition. All right, so once you have that, you're going to mosey your way onto the qt.nokia.com website, and you're going to go to Downloads. And once there, you're going to head down to the Qt libraries, and you're going to want to download the zip file version. There are some other versions, and if you look around, you might see some other installation styles for Qt with Visual Studio. This version's the one that myself and others have had the best results with, so you're going to want to download that zip file. Also, head down to the bottom, and you'll see that there's this Qt Visual Studio add-in. You're going to want to download that as well. So once that stuff is finished downloading, and I'll just show you, once it's finished downloading, you can head over to the folders that it's in. There we go. And you'll see this, and you'll just want to unzip this the file using whatever program you use. And more than likely, what you want to do to get best access is install it straight to the C drive. So you'll want to set up a path something like this, Qt 4.7.3, and install it right there. And if we head over to mine, you can see how I have that here. See, on the C drive, Qt 4.7.3, and everything's here. Once you have extracted that, you're going to want to head over to the Visual Studio command prompt. You can also, if you don't have this tagged like I do, you can head into your programs and look for Visual Studio 2010. And underneath that, in Visual Studio Tools, you'll see the command prompt here. So we'll start that up. You're going to want to change over to the directory where you extracted all those files. So you're going to want to do qt.7.3 or 4.7.3, and you're going to want to head over there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to run this configuration exe. You can see it in the folder browser here. So you'll just run configure.exe, and it'll run this. You're going to want to put O for the open source unless you have a commercial key. And then you'll want to accept this license offer. I'm going to decline because I don't really need to build the make file. When you do accept the license offer, it'll run for about 30 minutes to an hour. Should be really fast. And then once that's done, you will be able to you need to run the qmake command. and that'll run the make file that was just made during the configuration. Now, the nmake takes a really long time to run. Only took me about 4 or 5 hours the last time I did it, but this I know other people who it's taken up to 7 or 8. So just take your time, go play some video games, watch some TV, watch a movie, have fun, sleep, something like that. Once that's done, you can you're almost ready. Now the last thing that you want to make sure you do is go to downloads and then install the Qt Visual Studio add-in. And again, I'm not going to install it because I already have it all set up, but that's what you're going to want to do there. Now you'll be able to open up Visual Studio, and as we can see, there's this extra button here called the Qt button, and you're going to want to hit Qt options before we go any further, and you're going to want to set up a path for the Qt version, and that'll just be a quick add, and just select the path name. You can either type it in here, Qt 4.7.3 or whatever you want, and you need to make sure that links to wherever you have stored your Qt installation files or the library files, because you need to set that up so that it can find the Qt files. Alright, from there we're ready to make a project. So just hit New Project, and you'll see that we now have access to the Qt4 projects. So you can head over to Qt Application, and I'm going to call mine Demo App 4, and we'll just hit OK. Alright, and now we have a Qt GUI project wizard. I'm going to hit Next. From the overview to project settings, make sure to put in the ActiveQ both container library. I usually put in the server library just in case there's something extra in there, but you want to make sure that you have both of these. Your project will still compile without these, but I know, at least for myself, I've had some issues with Visual Studio's like running debugger, thinking that all the Qt stuff is wrong because some of the libraries weren't loaded. So you'll just hit Next, and then we come here, and you can change the class name if you want to. You can change the header file, the CPP file, the .ui file, which I'll get into more in the next video. And then you can just hit Finish. And as you can see, it takes a little bit to build the project. Bear with me. And you'll see that it's all set up. We've got all the files. You can open up the main, and you can see the main's running there. Oops, this is still running incorrectly. I will have an answer for you in the next video about what went on with that, but it should be still good to compile. So just Control F5. You might need to. It might give you a warning about rebuilding. Just hit yes, and it'll run. It'll build. See, build successful, and there we go. And that's just the blank Qt project, just a window. Next time we'll get into doing some more stuff. I'll be showing off the Qt Designer file, as well as running through a couple intro Qt things. So thanks for watching. Let me know if there's what you liked and what you didn't, and ways to improve. All right, thanks. Bye.